Hello, dear listeners, and welcome back to Book Summary 5, the 5-Minute Summary channel. I'm Sammy, your host, and today we're exploring The Leadership Challenge by James Kouzes and Barry Posner, a renowned guide on leadership development. Based on decades of research and filled with practical strategies, this book outlines the essential qualities and practices that define successful leaders. Let's dive into the key principles of leadership so you'll feel like you've read it cover to cover. At the core of the Leadership Challenge are the 5 practices of exemplary leadership. Kouzes and Posner developed these practices through years of research, studying successful leaders across various industries. They believe that leadership is not about personality, but about behavior. And these 5 practices provide a clear framework for becoming a more effective leader. The first practice is model the way. Great leaders set an example through their actions. Kouzes and Posner argue that leadership starts with clarity about your values and vision. Leaders need to know what they stand for and communicate that vision through their behavior. By modeling integrity and dedication, leaders inspire others to follow suit. When leaders walk the talk, they build credibility and trust within their teams. This practice encourages leaders to define their principles and demonstrate consistency in living up to them, thereby creating a culture of accountability. The second practice is inspire a shared vision. Leaders must be able to envision the future and articulate that vision in a way that inspires others. Kouzes and Posner stress that people are more likely to follow leaders who paint a compelling picture of what's possible. It's not enough for leaders to have their own goals. They need to ignite passion in others by connecting the organization's objectives to their team's individual hopes and aspirations. By aligning personal and organizational values, leaders create a shared sense of purpose that motivates and drives their team toward common goals. Next is challenge the process. Exemplary leaders are willing to take risks and challenge the status quo. They don't settle for the way things have always been done. They seek out opportunities for improvement and innovation. Kouzes and Posner emphasize that leaders should encourage their teams to experiment, take calculated risks, and learn from mistakes. This practice also involves fostering a culture of continuous improvement where challenges are seen as opportunities for growth. Leaders who challenge the process push their teams to step outside their comfort zones and achieve extraordinary results. The fourth practice is enable others to act. Leadership is not about commanding others, but about empowering them. Kouzes and Posner emphasize that leaders must foster collaboration, build trust, and strengthen relationships within their teams. Leaders who enable others to act create an environment where people feel safe to share ideas, take initiative, and contribute to the team's success. This involves developing individuals' capabilities and giving them the tools and support they need to thrive. When people feel empowered, they become more engaged, creative, and committed to achieving collective goals. The final practice is encourage the heart. Leadership is about people, and great leaders recognize the importance of supporting and motivating their teams. Kouzes and Posner argue that leaders should celebrate individual and team achievements, offering praise and recognition when it's deserved. Acknowledging progress and contributions boosts morale and reinforces the values and behaviors that lead to success. Encouraging the heart is about making people feel valued and appreciated, which in turn fosters loyalty and a sense of belonging within the team. One of the key takeaways from the Leadership Challenge is that leadership is accessible to everyone. Kouzes and Posner emphasize that leadership is not reserved for a select few with certain traits. It's a set of practices that anyone can learn and apply. By consistently practicing these 5 behaviors, leaders can have a positive influence on their teams and create lasting change within their organizations. Throughout the book, Kouzes and Posner provide real-world examples and case studies that illustrate these principles in action. From small businesses to large corporations, they show how leaders across industries have applied these practices to achieve remarkable results. These stories help bring the concepts to life and demonstrate the practical application of leadership theories. Another important theme in the Leadership Challenge is the role of feedback and self-reflection. Kouzes and Posner encourage leaders to seek feedback from their teams and regularly assess their own leadership behaviors. By remaining open to feedback and continually striving to improve, leaders can become more effective and responsive to the needs of their teams. Self-awareness and reflection are critical components of leadership growth, allowing leaders to identify areas for improvement and refine their approach. In summary, The Leadership Challenge by James Kouzes and Barry Posner provides a comprehensive, research-backed framework for effective leadership. By focusing on the 5 key practices, model the way, inspire a shared vision, challenge the process, enable others to act, and encourage the heart, leaders can cultivate trust, drive innovation, and build strong, motivated teams. Whether you're a seasoned leader or just starting your leadership journey, this book offers invaluable insights into how you can lead with purpose and impact. Thank you for tuning into Book Summary 5. If you enjoyed this summary, please subscribe, like, and share it with your friends. Until next time, happy reading.